Hello everyone! How are y'all doing today? Yesterday, while I was thinking about what to make a video on, I was just listening to music that had a more kind of alternative feel to it, and I was like, hey, this is the kind of music that I first started listening to whenever I first started getting into rock music, and so I thought it would be cool to make a video on the history of my love for music. I don't really know how exciting this will be for some of y'all, but if you do decide to watch it, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. In 2009 was whenever I first started getting into music. It started with Michael Jackson. He would be on repeat all the time, and I just loved his music. It was November in 2010 when I first listened to My Chemical Romance. They're my favorite band. I'm actually wearing their shirt right now, so they're my favorite band, and my love for them started in 2010, whenever their last major album, Danger Days, came out. You know, whenever you're kind of like a tween and you're just now watching like older people content, I guess you could say. Like, I started watching MTV, not the shows that aired on MTV, but like the music they would air on the channel, and I just felt so mature and older. And so they started promoting like Danger Days, so they would play like segments of just My Chemical Romance music, and that's how I found out who they were. At first I didn't like them, but after a while, as you can see, I grew to love them. I love me some Cami. Ooh. So they're kind of my first rock band obsession, and they're still my favorite band. Like, a lot of people think that Blink-182 is my favorite band. No. I mean, they're like my second favorite band, I guess you could say, but Cami's #1. So, I first started getting into alternative music, which My Chem is classified as, they're classified as alternative music. And so in 2010, 2011, you know, I started getting into bands like, besides My Chem, I started getting into like bands like The Used, 30 Seconds to Mars. Oh my gosh, I'm going down trip memory lane. Just stuff like that. And a lot of the people that I like today is all because of Ashley, because like she has a lot of CDs that I now kind of took from her and how I listen to them, and some music that I know today is because I saw her watching it on TV whenever I was younger. So y'all can all thank Ashley because why I like music today. So hey. 2011 was the year that I began to get into Blink-182, New Found Glory, Yellow Card, Good Charlotte, Simple Plan, so basically all of the punk-based bands from early 2000s. This is probably one of my favorite years in music, because I just love these bands so much, and I still listen to them to this day, and punk music is kind of my favorite subgenre to listen to. And of course, this is the year where my love for Blink started. I remember Mark Hoppus used to have this show called Different Spin with Mark Hoppus over on the Fuse channel. That show is the reason why I have a lot of kind of knowledge in some bands that I listen to today. That show is basically where I began listening to Blink, of course, and to Boxcar Racer and Angels and Airwaves and Plus 44. And I remember one day they showed a clip of the song Afterlife by Avenged Sevenfold. If you don't know that band, they're pretty great. They showed a clip of that song, and I was like, whoa, this song is neat. And of course I knew Avenged Sevenfold since like 4th grade. And so hearing Afterlife, I was like, hey, it's another Avenged Sevenfold song. And so I checked it out. It was pretty great. And so that's basically just the year where I just started getting into like punk music and a little bit of heavier music. And 2012, 2013 was the time where I got into my heaviest stuff that I listened to. I started getting into post-hardcore music, hardcore music, metal, death metal, yeah, Megan would listen to death metal. It was so funny. My friends would come up to me and they would be like, Megan, you're so sweet, but you listen to death metal. What? Yeah. I always thought that was pretty funny. So during this time was whenever I first started getting into bands like Pierce the Veil, Bring Me the Horizon, Of Mice and Men, Suicide Silence, Attila, and all that. Like, oh my goodness. I may get a lot of hate for this, but any band that's kind of popular among like 12-year-old girls in this kind of scene, I guess you could say I was into, which at the time it made sense. Not that I was 12, but I was kind of like 13, 14, whatever. So it makes a lot of sense. Once in a blue moon, you can catch me listening to If You Can't Hang by Sleeping with Sirens. I mean, that's a good song. Come on, that's a good song. Okay. Basically during that time was whenever I got into that kind of music. 2014 was whenever, I guess I just started getting into like, I don't know what you would call it. I grew deeper in love with Blink-182. Like, it's a thing to listen to their self-titled album and all that, but it's another thing to listen to like Cheshire Cat and, Buddha. Like, it's a different world. It's great. So that's kind of whenever during that time that's more stuff that I listened to. I guess you could say I started getting into softer stuff like Mayday Parade. The main reason why I made this video is because yesterday I was listening to, when am I not listening to them? Yesterday I was listening to Night Riots on Spotify. You've probably heard me talk about them. If you haven't, you're probably under a rock. They are the greatest band that I have listened to in a while, and they're awesome. Like, they're up there with my love for MCR and Blink. Like, they're up there. I'm in love with Night Riots. Like, oh my goodness. But yesterday I was listening to Night Riots, and this band, Night Terrors of 1927, that band, oh my goodness, that's a good band. And like, they kind of have like electronic influences, but they also sound like alternative and like a small percentage of indie. It's great, and I love it. And they did this song with Tegan and Sarah. They're like a Canadian pop group. They collabed with Night Terrors of 1927 on this song. Oh, what is it called? When You Were Mine. That's a really good song. I think you should check it out. This band called Bad Sons, they have this song called Cardiac Arrest. I've heard it somewhere, so whenever it came on my Spotify, I was like, whoa, this is really familiar, and then turns out I knew it. I would kind of categorize them as like alternative indie music. Whenever I think of indie, I think of like underground bands. And I know that's not necessarily the correct term for it. That's what I categorize it as. So I guess they kind of have an indie feel to it. Whenever you think indie, I think Never Shout Never, which is what Never Shout Never is. They're another good band. Never Shout Never has been with me since 2010, along with the Ready Set, and I love them so much. I saw them at Warped Tour for the first time a few weeks ago. Oh my gosh, Christopher Drew knows how to give on a performance. Like, I just felt like the whole show was intimate and totally low-key and calm, and the crowd was so calm that I was able to sit down because my shins were killing me. Like, oh. So the crowd was that calm to where I could like sit down and just do life, because that's what indie music does. It's calm as heck. It's great. I think I touched base on everything. I hope I did. I'm just slowly kind of getting back into alternative music, but punk music is still definitely what I kind of prefer. I mean, it's really struggle. Like, I don't want to be just secluded to this certain genre. Like, I have so many bands that I'm into. Like, I know so much music. It is bad. It's bad. I have like a couple, like, I have like 5 bands that I'm so into, which are Kemi, Blink. See, this is hard. The number one, it's Kemi, Blink, definitely Angels and Airwaves. They've been with me since like 2011. Really good band. Side band that Tom DeLonge does, which I guess you could say that Tom isn't in Blink anymore, but that's a whole different story. Oh my heart. I guess Night Rights could be considered as kind of my up there band, because I mean, they've only released like 12 songs, but then they have songs from their project that they did whenever they went under the name PK, and that's great. And so I guess it's easy listening to a band that only has out like 2 records. You know everything about them. I guess you could say Simple Plan is up there too. I love Simple Plan. They've been with me since I was like small. That's a whole nother video I need to do. Just like the early bands that Megan was into. That's another video I gotta do. Anyways, I'm gonna keep sidetracking, so I'm gonna have to end it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too boring. If you want me to keep doing more music videos, definitely let me know, because it's something that I like to talk about, of course. So if it's interesting for y'all to watch, let me know. I hope you all have a really good day, and remember that you're super awesome and rad. Bye!